Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Non-Litter Studios. My name is M9, and this is not only a place for creativity, it's a place where I get to show my love for technology. And today we are going to be opening up the Viture Luma Ultras, which are some very, very high-spec display glasses. These right here are glasses that are actually meant to have 6 degrees of freedom, which means that your display should be able to float in space no matter where you walk. And I think that that's super exciting. I'm eventually going to be trying these with the INAIR Pod that I absolutely love and I've kind of raved about before. But I don't think that the update is out yet for that. So there will be a follow-up video for that. So let's just go ahead and get into these and see what our first impressions are. Oh, really nice little case. It looks maybe a little bit bigger than my INAIR glasses, but it could be because these are just completely rounded. The INAIR are kind of like in a pyramid shape. Yeah, let's see what else we got in here. I'm really excited to try these out because in comparison to the INAIR 2 Pro glasses, these are very much more advanced. The INAIR glasses are kind of, a lot of people say that they're a little outdated when it comes to the technology they have in them. They're very standard, very basic. These are really pushing the boundaries with some of the things that you can do with them. However, I understand that most of the use that I'm going to get from this is going to be with the INAIR Pod because these are just display glasses. So if you're thinking about making a purchase, know that you will be using this as a display. All right. So here are the glasses. They look very nice. They feel lighter than my INAIR do, I think. I'll take them out and compare soon. But wow, they're really nice. Let's take out the INAIR 2 Pros from here and we'll do some comparisons. So let's see. Yeah, the INAIR are slightly heavier. Just to cut in here 1 second, interestingly enough, the Luma Ultras are supposed to actually be heavier. They're marketed at 83 grams, while the INAIR 2 Pros are marketed at 80 grams. After weighing them, they actually came out to 81 something and 85 something, but I'm not exactly sure how accurate my little scale thing is. It must be a balance thing, the way that the weight is distributed, because even my wife thought that the newer ones were lighter than the other ones. So who knows? As you can see here, we have the built-in camera in the center, along with the other cameras as well, which allow you to have those 6 degrees of freedom. Now, this isn't going to be a full comparison of these and the INAIR Pro because of the fact that it's very obvious to most of the people in the space that these are kind of the top of the line glasses, the Luma Ultra, and the INAIR Pros are a little outdated. So it's not going to be a full comparison, but this is the only thing I have it to compare to at the moment. So I will be making comparisons. It looks like you can make adjustments here on top for each lens. All right, so let's get this connected to something and let's see how it is. So I really like that the case has kind of like a slot there for the cable. The other difference between these glasses and the other ones, even though I said I wasn't going to make a full comparison, is the fact that the cable connects to the side of the arm. So if you can see over here, the cable connects magnetically to that, as opposed to the cable that goes at the end of the arm of the INAIR. So I feel like that might be a little bit better for back here, because sometimes I do feel the discomfort. All right. So I think first off, we're just going to go ahead and try to connect it to the pod, because it's the one thing that I have the most accessible right here. Even if it hasn't been completely updated to use the 6 degrees of freedom. Wow. We're just going to stick to 2D HD mode. Holy crap. Okay, so instantly I can already see a big boost in colors. Again, I've never really had an issue with my INAIR before, but I didn't have anything else to compare it to. So wearing these, I can see that the colors, the blacks, everything is a lot richer, is very nice to read, all of the text. So right now it is strictly just like a screen in my face type of thing. It's moving wherever I go. I'm also going to need something that lifts these up a little bit more, because I'm cutting off the display at the top. So we'll have to put on some nose pads, but this looks super, super clear. And the colors are very vibrant. It's working really well with the INAIR Pod. Let me see if I can get some screen recordings here just so that I can have a reference. So here I'm recording the thing, and yeah, it's very sharp. Let's go over to Microsoft, well, maybe Google Docs. It's super bright, almost to the point that it's kind of bothering my eyes, if I'm being honest. It's too bright for me. But the text, oh my goodness, it's so clear. It's a lot clearer than the INAIR. Very sharp, but I gotta say, I'm instantly missing the ability to look from side to side, to look at different displays. So until that update is released for the INAIR Pod to be able to use with the Luma Pro, that I can actually look around properly, I'm probably not going to be using them a whole lot, except for maybe watching a movie or gaming, that I don't necessarily have to have multiple displays. But this looks very nice. Okay, so I have to turn the brightness down on the glasses themselves. Let me turn the volume down here. But this is the new Fallout show. I will say another thing that I'm noticing here is the audio quality. I think the audio quality in these sounds so good. It reminds me a little bit of my Meta Ray-Bans. The audio on those are great as well when I'm listening to music. The clarity is super sharp. But one thing that I did notice is the fact that I can't do 2D to 3D conversion unless that's how I connected the glasses in the first place. With the INAIR, I can do that live. I can just kind of go to any browser or whatever and just hit 2D to 3D conversion and turn anything into 3D. Sound quality, picture quality is great. Comfort is great. So another thing that I noticed is while I had those on, I was able to switch between color modes, which was really nice while I was watching the show. I have my phone recording the table point of view, so I'm not able to get the application right now, but that's going to be our next step, and I will see how that goes.
Connecting your glasses to the SpaceWalker application unlocks a lot of other features that you wouldn't get otherwise with just viewing your phone display. You get enhanced 3 degrees of freedom, and I believe you get additional multi-screen capabilities and things like that. But also, your phone turns into something kind of like the INAIR Pod, just a way lighter version of it, without as many features. But it actually took care of a lot of the things that I had problems with just thinking of the glasses as a display on your face. If you're using the Viture application, and by the way, you need this adapter, which is sold separately, I think, you unlock different features for the glasses. You can launch applications such as Netflix, YouTube, and things like that. and you can play games. I believe that I saw on there GeForce Now, Moonlight, Xbox Cloud Gaming. In fact, once you connect it, it actually turns your phone into a pointer, just like the INAIR Pod behaves. So that was pretty interesting. I actually thought that it was kind of cool that you can use your phone in such a way without necessarily having to buy a different device. Now, when you connect a laptop to your glasses, then things start to change quite a bit. You actually unlock all of its features, including the 6 degrees of freedom that you don't get with the other devices. What that means is that you can have multiple displays and you can look from one to the other, and you can also back up or get closer to your displays to see them clearly. You're not able to do that with some of the other things, such as the INAIR glasses and with the INAIR Pod, because they don't have the 6 degrees of freedom. But that's only with the laptop and using it with the SpaceWalker app. And while it did work really well and the displays stayed where they were even when I got closer or further away, I had an issue with how it looked. The colors were a little washed out, and it also made it very dim. And I'm not really sure how I was supposed to change that. If I'm being honest, I messed around, but it might just be a me issue. I personally don't really have the need to take my laptop around with the glasses to have multiple displays. If I'm gonna carry my laptop, I might as well just use the screen on it. What I really want is something like the INAIR Pod to use with the glasses, which gives me multiple screens and gives me a lot of portability. So that is actually my goal. I don't want to use it with my laptop, but everyone has their own usage. I think once the update for the INAIR Pod comes out, which I will be able to use the 6 degrees of freedom on the Viture glasses, I think that that's going to be really cool. So I can't wait to try that out.
So if you have any questions about the Luma Ultra glasses or what they're capable of or some of the specs that I didn't cover, please let me know and I will do my best to get to them. If you want more content like this, please go ahead and hit like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Peace.